К одному из самых перспективных месторождений – Котовскому. И добычу здесь планируют еще наращивать. Сегодня на помощь нефтяников приходят цифровые технологии. Репортаж Дмитрия Рублева.
Starting out with any new project management software usually feels something like this. Where do you even start? Well, you've probably got some to-dos written down somewhere, right? Let's drop those in here. There we go. Let's give these some due dates in the order they need to be completed. Sure would be helpful to have these all mapped out on a calendar. Let's add one. All right, now let's think about that presentation you've got next week. Maybe you need a spot to get your thoughts jotted down? Let's add a doc. Embed a video of that speech that really fires you up. And let's get a table in here to organize your key talking points. Maybe bring in the slides from your last presentation to really get the juices flowing? Beautiful. And let's bring your sales and customer data in here too. A table view will be perfect for organizing that. Now we're talking. Build your workspace and put your productivity in hyperdrive with the one app to replace them all. ClickUp.
Оператор Удмуртнефти Роман Сутягин следит за работой нефтяной станции. На мониторах технические данные, которые отображают всю картину происходящего.
Это операторные установки предварительного сброса воды. Это наше рабочее место. Сюда на наши компьютеры стекается информация о работе самой установки. Мы следим за параметрами. В случае отклонения каких-то параметров регулируем здесь, отсюда с компьютера, с помощью современных этих технологий.
В этом году после реконструкции на Котовском месторождении начала работу дожимная насосная станция. По сути, здесь модернизировали и перезапустили систему очистки, подготовки и перекачки нефти. Так, цифровые технологии повышают эффективность и производственную безопасность предприятия, одновременно снижая затраты.
Необходимость реконструкции ДНС-6, КНС-6 Котовского месторождения, оно созрело давно. Это в первую очередь связано с добываемой жидкостью и увеличением скважин. На сегодняшний день эта станция работает в постоянном режиме, круглосуточном. Ее обслуживают два оператора.
Также система позволяет контролировать работу всей установки, управлять насосами откачки нефти, открывать и закрывать электрозадвижки, страхует от ошибок, мгновенно реагируя на любые отклонения. За всем техпроцессом следит умная автоматика.
Можно сказать, 100% автоматизировано, что не исключает все равно присутствие обслуживающего персонала. Облегчили, так скажем, нашим операторам работу.
Котовское месторождение – одно из перспективных в регионе. Более 130 скважин. За 30 лет здесь добыто 8 миллионов тонн нефти. Применяемые компанией Удмуртнефть цифровые решения и
Hi everyone, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. Today I'm going to answer the question about whether a digital keyboard is enough to learn the piano, some of the advantages and disadvantages, and if you can actually learn piano on a digital keyboard. There are a lot of differing opinions about this question, and I'm here to be practical and flexible with each of you. I realize that a lot of my YouTube audience are people who are studying on their own. And I commend you for that. A lot of people say, if you don't have a teacher, you shouldn't be taking lessons. My number one piece of advice, if you want to get really good at piano, is you need a good quality teacher. However, I understand sometimes you don't have time to practice consistently. Sometimes you don't have the funds for a good teacher, because a good teacher usually costs a lot of money. I certainly pay my teachers a lot of money. So, is it okay to have a digital piano? Yes, it absolutely is. And I think that it is a great start for a lot of people. If you can afford an acoustic piano, go with that. But I would say a horrible old acoustic is worse than a really nice digital piano. And I'll probably get a lot of crap in the comments, so go have a heyday down there. But a good acoustic piano far outweighs any keyboard. The thing that you're dealing with in an acoustic piano, a grand piano, is when you push this down, there's a mechanism that raises a hammer that hits a string. okay? That's very basic. So you get a particular touch, and when you get on a nice piano that has, and I think most modern pianos have this, but it's called double escapement. Basically, whenever, if you push the key down very slowly, you'll feel this little point of resistance, and then all of a sudden it'll push down. What that does is that allows you to repeat notes very quickly. Okay, so that's useful for repeated notes. The other thing that you'll get is you'll get harmonics. Now some keyboards, actually a lot of them now, have this. So like, let's say that you're holding down C's, you play a G, I'm not holding the pedal down, or let's play a D. See, not really any harmonics there. It's amazing. Also, the pedaling, you're actually lifting physical mechanism on an acoustic piano. But I've spent a lot of my life practicing on a keyboard over the last 5 or 6 years for 2 different reasons. One of them was I was in Michigan doing my doctorate. I practiced pianos, but sometimes it was super late at night, or it was like -30 outside, and I didn't want to go out in the freezing cold to go to the school to do a half an hour, you know, before bed or something. So I'd plug in headphones and I'd use my Clavinova, which you'll see shortly. Now I have a baby and she naps a lot, and so I plug in my headphones on my Nord keyboard, which I love even more than the Clavinova. My student in New York just bought the nicest digital piano, in my opinion, you can buy, which is the Yamaha N series. They have an N1, N2, and an N3. He bought the N2. The N1 is the model below it, and then obviously the N3 is bigger, and it it's almost like a little miniature grand piano. Those are amazing because they've come up with the mechanism that's actually lifting a hammer. The bad thing is you're not actually causing, you know, a hammer to hit a string and for that to make the soundboard vibrate. It's not real, but it is really good. So while an acoustic piano is the superior way to go, this is a Steinway Model O, kind of like a dream piano for me, to be honest. I love Hamburg Steinways, and we got very lucky. We found this. We had saved for a very long time for it and purchased it, and it's my one of my favorite pianos I've ever played on. It has a gorgeous singing tone that I love. But if this is not in the cards for you, or you know, a Yamaha or a smaller used Steinway, or a Busendorfer or Fazioli or Bechstein, I love Bechstein pianos too. If those aren't in the cards for you and you can't afford that and you only have a digital keyboard, that's okay. Let's take a quick look at my digital keyboards. Okay, this is the Yamaha Clavinova that I was talking about. I really enjoy this keyboard. I think I bought it for about $900 or $1,000. Has this little slide that comes out. It's very, very basic. It is the base model. So you can have a couple of different samples, like this is a harpsichord. The thing I like is it has built-in speakers, and a lot of keyboards have that. The Nord does not, so it's something I do appreciate, but it has a nice piano sound. And let's go back to that Scarlatti example. Pretty good action. So you're definitely not sacrificing too much with this keyboard. I like it because it feels very much like an acoustic piano, but you can definitely tell it does have weighted keys, but you can just tell when you hit a weighted key, you're not actually.
So I didn't miss.
actually lifting a hammer mechanism. But this is a great starter keyboard, in my opinion, before you graduate to an acoustic grand. Let's go take a look at the Nord. All right, this is the piano where I do most of my work on. You can see I've been working on Rock 3, that horrible passage in movement 2. That is really tough. The thing I hate about the Nord is that it doesn't have any internal speakers. So I just use headphones. If you want, you can plug in an extra pair of external speakers, which is okay, but I do like that the Yamaha can plug in an extra pair of Go take a look at the Nord. All right, this is the piano where I do most of my work on. You can see I've been working on Rock 3, that horrible passage in movement 2. That is really tough. The thing I hate about the Nord is that it doesn't have any internal speakers. So I just use headphones. If you want, you can plug in an extra pair of external speakers, which is okay, but I do like that the Yamaha Clavinova has built-in speakers. The thing I love about the Nord as well is that it has these amazing pedals. By the way, this is an ultimate support stand. So if you can see that ultimate support, it's like an X stand. I really like it because it's fully adjustable. There's an awesome little piano light that hooks to this. This thing is a complete rip-off. This was like 130 bucks, but it is super sturdy. And I hesitated buying it for a lot of years because I was like, oh, I can't justify 130 bucks for a stand. And I used all sorts of crappy alternatives, like a music stand behind it. And I was like, okay, I spent a few grand on the Nord. I'm being an absolute moron. Let me just buy the stand, and it's totally worth it. So I'd highly recommend getting this. I got this at a discount. I think it was like $2,200. So it is quite a bit more expensive than the Clavinova, but my goodness, this thing has it all. Like, it has pedal sounds. So like as you push your pedal down, you can hear it go shh. You can hear the whooshing sound. It has harmonics like I was showing you on the grand piano. It has a lot of nice samples. So for instance, this is called Grand Lady D. It's basically showing a Steinway D. Let's see, I never change it, so let me see how I even do this. This is a Grand Imperial. I think that's a Bösendorfer. And then this is a Yamaha. And then they have like electric brands. They have a ton of samples, but the thing that separates Nord, by the way, this is a Nord Piano 2 Hammer Action. I don't even think they sell these anymore. Hammer Action 88 is what that stands for. I think they have like Nord Piano 3 or 4 now. So, and if you get the Nord Stage 2, it has like a ton of awesome buttons that you can manipulate the sound for. I gig with this keyboard a lot, and I'm going to tell you a story that most of you will probably roll your eyes at, but my wife and I sometimes play concerti to end my concerts, so I'll play like a full classical concert on a Steinway, and then we don't want to pay the extra, you know, $500 to $1,000 out of our artist fee to bring in another grand just for one piece. So we'll set up this Nord, and most of the time that's in like an arena, or we've even done outdoor concerts, or we've done things in gymnasiums or different places that aren't like acoustic concert halls that probably would have a second grand piano. Like the university, for instance, they have like 4 grand pianos backstage at the University of Utah where I teach. Most places you have to bring in a piano. And we plugged this into the same sound system as our Steinway Hamburg O, because the local Steinway dealer said, this is Christmas time and we're out of Steinways for that night. Would you be willing to use your own piano? So we said, yeah, we'll cart it out there. So we paid to have it carted